Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a not a ranking, not a tier list, but we're gonna find out which of the four recent Battlefield games are actually good, which one's the best. Hardline didn't exist, so we're not counting that. Um, so I'm gonna be ranking them by giving them a score of 0 to 10 on each of these categories. Now, if it's good, I'll give it 10 points. If it's bad, if it's like atrocious, it gets a 0. So 0 being atrocious and 10 being outstanding. All right. Let's see. So Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4's vibe was more of a more of them pandering to like the MLG shit at the time where people thought they were gods. You know, when people would like be trying to pull off like crazy trick shots and dumb shit like that. Which nowadays I fucking hate. Most people fucking hate that shit nowadays. And since this list will be from a perspective of January 19th, 2022, that's a bad vibe. It's not a good vibe. It has this it also has this little undertone of being a little gritty. Like the soldiers will like sometimes panic. Like when they're being shot at, they'll be like, "Oh, they're lighting me up," or some shit like that, and it's a bit immersive. So I'll give it that. It can be pretty immersive at times, but it's it fucking that vibe gets ruined by players who are in like attack choppers who just murder fucking everything and never die. So there's a vibe there, but it's not very good. So we'll give it a 6. All right, game modes. Battlefield 4 had this neato little thing called Carrier Assault. Um, Carrier Assault was fucking awesome. If you didn't like Carrier Assault, you're wrong. Now, while no one can play Carrier Assault anymore because it's DLC required, and not everyone has DLC, meaning there's going to be no one on the servers for a Carrier Assault map, it was really fun when you could play it. But since this is from the perspective of January 19th, 2022, it pretty much means fucking nothing because you can't even play the damn thing anymore. Um, so all you're left with right now is large conquest, conquest large, and maybe a team deathmatch somewhere, which fucking sucks. Large conquest is it's trash. Conquest is not fun. It's not. You run around looking for kills in a massive map, looking for action that you never find until a tank just blows you sky high, or a vehicle comes and just picks you off that you have no control over while you're running around looking for a kill, or you get sniped by a guy who's literally across the map. So, because it's just Conquest that all you can play right now, that and Team Deathmatch, I'm giving it a 3 for game modes. Maps. Um, let's see, the maps that you can play on right now that you're likely to find a match on are things like Siege of Shanghai, Goldmood, um, Dragon Valley, I think it's called, has a few servers on it. There's a server dedicated to just that, at least in the US. Um, the other maps, like Dawnbreaker, and there's a few other maps that you can play with default. The maps are okay. You know, they're okay. Okay, Goldmood fucking sucks. Goldmood is trash. Easily the worst map in that game. It's so open. There's no cover. It's a farm for vehicle players. It's solely a vehicle map, and if you're not in a vehicle, aka you didn't get your turn in the kill machine when you died, um, you're fucked. You either get sniped or you get picked off by a vehicle. Um, but on the bright side, there's Siege of Shanghai, which is fun. Siege of Shanghai is fun almost all the time until the Levolution happens, and then half the time it's trash. Because that top of the building is where infantry usually can go and feel safe from tank shitters who just want their free farm, right? And then as a result, the tank players feeling left out, wondering why no one wants to fight them because they fucking farm the shit out of everyone, they'll just destroy the fucking tower and then the map's ruined. And then it's just not fun anymore because the tanks then have access to everywhere that infantry will be. Like, what are you gonna do? Go up on a roof and get picked off by an attack chopper? Unfucking likely. But for the time that the tower's up, Siege of Shanghai is really fun. Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker's fun. I like that one. Oh, the resort map. I forget. Hanan Resort or something like that. That map's okay. I don't have any like distinct things to say about it. The Levolution on it's interesting to say the least. But it's an okay map. I have nothing like crazy to say about it. Oh yeah, there's also the factory one that makes all the tanks. I forget what that one was. Zavad 911 or something like that. 711. I'll find out later. That map is. It's good. It's a good map. Let's see. What other ones come to mind when I think of Battlefield 4 maps? This is from a perspective of a person who bought no DLC for any of these games, by the way. I'm not buying fucking DLC for like a 7-year-old game or something like that. It's not happening. The maps in this game. They're really spread out. And considering the number of players, you rarely find action, and because of how the game modes mix with the maps, you rarely find action. It's usually just like 15,000 guys on one point, like scramming, searching for the one guy who's on point. They're all just like, give me, give me, give me, give me. And as soon as he's dead, they go nowhere. They just stand there. Right? The maps don't support big fights because big fights never fucking happen because everyone's running around looking for kills instead of trying to win the match because people are bored. And as a result, it's just this vicious cycle because people are bored because the map doesn't flow with the game mode, which worsens how the game mode flows with the map, which makes people more bored, makes them want to go for just kills and not play the game mode. Right? It's a vicious cycle. And it makes it really fucking boring. We're giving it a 3. Gunplay. Hey. Swing and a miss. Shotguns. Shotguns. I don't think I have to preface this. Fucking shotguns in this game are sniper rifles. It's unacceptable. Right? And then like everyone like gets up on the fucking soapbox on their high horse when people get mad that people are using shotguns. Like, oh, look at him, man. He's so mad I'm using a shotgun. He banned me because I'm using a shotgun. Do you hate fun? Fuck you, kid. Do you hate fun? Let's see. If you weren't running a PDW on this game, you were doing it wrong. Right? That's why everyone played engineers, so they could A, possibly defend themselves from the 18 quintillion vehicles everywhere that were farming the shit out of them, and B, so they could have OP close range weapons that would farm the living shit out of anyone. However, I do like the recoil system. The recoil system is complex. It's realistic. And it's overall, it's good. It's good. No, I think that brings it back up to a. Next. Next. All right, Levolution. So the Levolutions in this game were fucking batshit insane. and they looked amazing. Even today, they still look pretty cool, right? At least for the first two times you see them. And then instead of going, whoa, that looks so fucking sick, you're like, fuck, you ruined the map, right? On Siege of Shanghai, the map gets ruined. Let's see, on the Zavad thing, I don't think it ruins the map. Hanan Resort, it kind of fucks with the map because it like completely destroys the point. Um, let's see here. Oh, Parasol Storm, I think it's called, right? Parasol Storm. That Levolution's pretty fucking sick. It's pretty cool. The Dam, that one sucks. That Levolution sucks. It's not fun. It looks somewhat cool the first time. And then you're like, fuck, this sucks. I just lost like a third of the map. Like a third of the map is no longer playable. Let's see what other maps have cool evolutions. I know I'm forgetting one. Dawnbreakers, isn't it just like a pipeline you blow up? Don't you just blow up a pipeline? For sure you just blow up a pipeline. Gold Mode Railway didn't have evolutions. It had little mines planted everywhere that you could and maybe defend yourself from the 5 tanks that are chasing you. But these evolutions did look sick. And it is one of, if not the best looking Levolutions in Battlefield. Period. So, because they look so fucking awesome, I'm going to be generous and I'm going to give them a 7. Replayability. Now, replayability, what I mean by replayability, how much stuff is there to do? Right? How much content is there? How much stuff can you do? Like when you go and play the game, how many hours of gameplay can you just get out of it, right? And not get bored and still have new things coming in? And the answer to that, Battlefield 4 has a lot of stuff to do. Even with head-ass Conquest being the only game mode you can play, the amount of fucking guns in that game is ridiculous. It's absurd. The gadgets, how the classes intermingle with one another. If you get a friend, it's an entirely different game. I got a friend like a few times. Holy shit, it transformed the game because like no one plays the game anymore because so like not many of my friends have the game downloaded. But it transforms the game into something entirely different. Also, can we just talk about how fucking hard it is to get into a match with a friend in this game? Like you have to join on this. You can't even just send them an invite to the party. That shit doesn't work. Like the system they made in the game to invite someone to your party doesn't work. Like it should just be you hit X, you send the invite, or A, or you click on it, you send the invite, and then it shows up on their screen. In Battlefield 4, none that it doesn't show up. You just don't get the invite. What fucks up with that? So the replayability. There's a lot of replayability in this game. There's a lot of it. It's a good amount of replayability. But with the only fucking mode being Conquest, it doesn't have that much to do. It's all about the gear that you have access to, the items, the weapons, the gadgets, all that shit. That's where the replayability is, and the fact of do you have a friend or not. So we'll give it a 7. Got a problem with a woman being in your squad? I like the battleship bit. I like that. And I like the bit where you were on the Valkyrie and you were like boarded the other bit until it was super buggy and you couldn't swim through that area. And the current will just push you back. I didn't like that. The soundtrack for this game, not too bad, honestly. Um, even though like the EDM phase is gone, like Skrillex and shit like that. Like even though it's still not like it's not mainstream anymore, it's still a good fucking soundtrack, bro. Um, the main theme is pretty good. The only like considerable other soundtrack is when you win and then you see all the fuckheads jumping in the middle of the map. But it's a good soundtrack for what soundtrack there actually is. It's good, if that makes any sense. Graphics. Now you might think I'm being a bully for including graphics on a slider from a game that's from like 2013 or something. And yes, I am a bully because I'm taking into consideration that all these games are alive and well right now, all of them, because everyone was crying and moaning about Battlefield 2042 being buggy, so they just didn't want to play that, so they went back and played other games. All these games are plenty alive. They have plenty of players. So don't you worry about them. Um, so it's not like you can judge these in a light that, oh, well, it's very old. No, no. Because why would I play Battlefield 4 if I could play just Battlefield 2042? Why? You know? Like, understand this. I didn't grow up playing Battlefield 4. I got interested in Battlefield around Battlefield 1. And then I got really into it at Battlefield 5. That was a good game. And I'm still into 2042. It's a good game. That's objective fact. And then I was like, what's this Battlefield 4 shit about? After Battlefield 5 started going down the gutter because they added Time to Kill 2.0 and that fucked it for a few bits, for a few seconds, and then they fixed it, but no one came back because they're pussies. I don't get it. Um, so understand that I don't give a shit how old it is. I care if it's fun. Right? Does that make sense? Because while Battlefield 4 appealed to fads back then, Battlefield 2042 appeals to fads now. So you can't give Battlefield 4 a pass for that, but then get mad about 2042 having specialists. So the graphics on this, it's the worst out of the list. Yeah, it's fucking old. It's the worst out of the list, but the graphics still look good. Doesn't mean they're shit. Graphics look fine. Like, there's not too much texture popping except for on Gulmood Railway because there's just so much ground for it to generate in. Sometimes there's some texture popping where you load and everything looks like Play-Doh and you're like, what the fuck? So the graphics are still fine, so we'll give it a 6. Let's talk bugs. Hold up. Food. Alright. So, bugs. Um, there's that annoying bit where someone who's in an LAV, if they try and go into water, they'll get shot out at like escape velocity. Am I the only one who like remembers this bit? And look, I don't care how it was at launch. I care how it is now, right? I don't care how it is at launch because I'm not playing at launch right now. I'm playing on January 19th, 2022. And there's also that bit where if you shoot a a TV guided missile, it considers the missile to be the hitbox of the player who fires it. So if you hit the missile, you kill the player. What the fuck? I mean, I don't mind that. That's a pretty cool bug. It's like, ah, get fucked, kid. Um, but it's a little dumb if you're the TV missile. Um, Most of the bugs are pretty harmless. Pretty harmless, so who cares? Um, Give it a 9. Any extra credit? Extra credit is just extra points. Um, we'll get back to this. We'll get back to this. Maybe we'll rub my noggin. All right, Battlefield 1, the game that actually made Battlefield good. Um, so Battlefield 1's vibe, World War 1. You could smell it from a mile away, right? It establishes itself. Battlefield 4, you were kind of like, so am I supposed to take this seriously, or is this futuristic? Is it modern? What the? In Battlefield 1, it's serious. The atmosphere is serious. It's dark. It's World War 1, and I fucking love it. It's so good. It's intense, right? And it knows how to transition. So an example of that is at the end of the round, you got this tense fucking music playing, and it's getting you hyped. You're taking the game seriously. You're busting your ass to get to the point and maybe pop some kids off. And then at the end of the game, it then kind of eases into this music that's more relaxed. It's more calming, right? It's more tranquil. And it's able to do that perfectly with the transition to white at the end of the round, right? Battlefield 5 does this too. In Battlefield 1, so when I played through it, I was like, this is pretty good. But that's also because I was like really interested in Battlefield at the time, and the concept of portraying war as shit at the time hadn't been being done because all the fucking MLG shit just portrayed war as like a chance to go pop some kid. So this was like it was a it was a vibe check at the time. However, right now is not 2016/17. Right now is January 19th, 2022. And you go back and you look at the vibe and it's a bit cringe. Like you listen to the intro and the campaign, you're like, that's a bit cheesy. But the vibe is good. This is a good vibe. We're giving it a 9. Game modes. Operations. Breakthrough. Like, do I have to say anything else, bro? I don't think I do. The maps. Ooh, Conquer Hell sucked. Yeah, Conquer Hell was really, really bad. Let's see. Kaiserschlacht is a good map. That's a fucking good map. What's the French city? Amiens, is it? I think it's Amiens. That's a good map. It's like one I'll probably end up talking about when we go over Battlefield 5's maps. It's got everything that you need in a map. It's got close range. It's got far sight lines. It's got everything. So the maps also, they look damn good. Like you look at the map and you're like, oh, I see the vibe here. Yeah. You go to Kaiserslacht, you're like, okay, war torn, no man's land. I can smell this from a mile away. You go to Amiens, you go, oh, it's a city that's about to get the shit kicked out of it. All right, cool. Um, let's see, and I'm gonna break a rule in the They Shall Not Pass DLC. Verdun is fucking beautiful. It's pretty. So what else we got? Um, I forget the map where the Royal Marines have to like push down a dock. That map fucking sucks, bro. It's so fucking rigged. I hate that shit. The Gallipoli map is that TLC? I forget. It's okay. I don't know because I have the premium for Battlefield 1 because it was free. So I don't know what's DLC and what isn't. I've played the game a bunch, but it's just hard to tell between the lines. I know like what's in the name of the Tsar and shit like that. Um, but yeah, the maps are pretty good. They're good. They flow well, except for Conquer Hell and the one where oh fuck, what's the one where the Italians and the Austro-Hungarians are fighting in the mountains? That one is I don't know about that one. Yeah, now that I think about it, let's give it a 7. Gunplay. Now look, bayonets are a wonderful idea, and they were executed perfectly. But I wish I could customize my fucking gun without changing the whole entire thing just to change the sight on it. Fuck, bro. You know? I want to be able to change the sight on my gun without fucking just losing all the progress I had on it. You know? Am I the only one who's tilted by that? The gunplay, however, like time to kill and shit like that, and recoil, it's good. It's good. It's good. But it doesn't have the customization that Battlefield 4 had, so shotguns weren't as OP. They were still OP, but not as OP. We'll give it a 6. Vehicles. You see, back in the early 1900s, attack helicopters didn't exist, right? Tanks couldn't go faster than like 50 miles per hour. So, as a result, it's much more balanced. It's much, much more balanced. And it's difficult for people to drive in vehicles. It's not just super fucking easy like any other game. It's not like enlisted level difficulty in driving vehicles, but it's difficult. Um, it's just so much better than Battlefield 4's. um, Levolution. This game didn't really have Levolution. I mean, it had the when the giant thing would come crashing down, right? Or how the you get like a dreadnought if you were doing shit, or you get the train, but that's not exactly a levolution, would you call it? That's more of a, oh, here, you're getting the shit kicked out of you. Have a Kid's Choice Award. It's like it's not gonna fix the problem of your team is shit, or the entire enemy team is running the Hell Regal, or the SMG-08, or insert an OP-ass gun here, or the ribeye roll. Um, so Levolution? Okay, so look, the airship coming down was really fucking cool because it would then become an area you could fight in. Like, that's sick. But it's also kind of wonky because, like, if it doesn't land on the ground, it kind of just, like, pops. So, due to a major lack thereof, we're giving it a 4. Actually, that's a lie. We're giving it a 3. All right. Replayability. I would much rather replay this game than Battlefield 4. I would much rather replay this game than Battlefield 4. Thing is, Battlefield games in general are replayable. Right? To be replayable is a standard. It's a standard. It gets a 9. Campaign. This is the shit, bro. This shit's good. Actually, hold up. Through Mud and Blood fucking sucked. Let's just go through all of them. The intro was fucking fire. Although the monologue at the end of it was a little cringe. Okay, it was really cringe and cheesy, but for what it's worth, the intro slapped, and it just said like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna fucking traumatize you when you play this game." Just so you're aware. You're like, okay. So yeah, the campaign was pretty good. Through Mud and Blood fucking sucked. Avanti Savoia was pretty fun, actually. You just mowed down like hundreds of guys with one mag. It's wonderful. Let's see, the one where you're flying in the plane, Friends in High Places. That one's pretty good. I like the little twist at the end where he goes, "Would I?" I love that. The Runner is pretty fucking good. I liked it. Pretty sad ending, kind of hitting you in the feels, but hey. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Avanti Savoia's ending. Fuck, that hit hard. Like fuck. And then there's the Nothing is True or Nothing is Written. One of those two. The one in the Ottoman Empire where you play as the Arab chick. That one's pretty cool. I wasn't a huge fan of like the stealth mechanics in it. They were super cheesy because the stealth mechanics were kind of forced on you. So if you didn't like get kind of lucky with the stealth mechanics not being fucked, because like if one guy somehow knows you, he's like, "Oh shit!" All of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, there he is!" And that was fucking annoying. So that one wasn't too good, but I liked the ending. The ending was pretty good. Yeah. Let's see the soundtrack. Oh my god, bro. Fuck me. Like this soundtrack was good, bro. Like that shit was impeccable. I think that's the right word. It was good. It was really fucking good. Graphics. This game looks beautiful even today, dude. Like this game looks good. Bugs. I remember at launch there weren't too many bugs, but when they happened, they weren't like game breaking or they wouldn't like inhibit gameplay. You'd just be like, "What the fuck?" Like when you would die and you get launched into the stratosphere. Am I the only one who that's happened to? Or you'd be stuck reloading each and every little bullet just fucking keeps on going. But like you could just switch your weapon and then restart the reloading animation. So it's fine. It's not too buggy, honestly. It's polished. It's well polished. Extra credit. I have to give it props for being the first one to do Grand Ops, and I like how it does Grand Ops in a certain way that Battlefield 5 doesn't, because Battlefield 5 will often have an airdrop on the map and then a breakthrough or a conquest. But I'm pretty sure Battlefield 1 it switches every round and it's all breakthrough, which is pretty sick. It's its own style. Battlefield 5's its style's pretty good too. Like it has its own merits. I'm not shitting on it for that, but Battlefield 1, it has its own style where you just go and you go and you go and you go. It's all breakthrough. I love it. I love it. So we'll give it an extra point. All right, Battlefield 5. This was a good game. It was a good game. You can't deny it. Like, deny it all you want because this individual is on the cover. It's a good game. It's objectively a good game. The vibe. The vibe is what killed this game. Like the game is good, but the vibe is retarded. Like, I don't look at a female Japanese warrior with no helmet on, with their cleavage out, running towards American soldiers, throwing kunai at them in the middle of the Pacific theater of World War II, and think, wow, that's cool. I love World War II. I think this is so fucking retarded. You know? I think this is so goddamn... Fuck, it's not World War II. That's not World War II. I hate the... I and pretty much everyone else hate the underlying tones of a political agenda. We didn't want that. We just wanted a Battlefield game, which we got. We got a Battlefield game, but it didn't need to have this. It didn't need it. It did not need to have this extra vibe of fuckiness. Right? So other than that bit, what else is there about the vibe? The vibe is pretty good from like a campaign standpoint. It's similar to the Battlefield 1, but I think it does that a little bit better. It's less cheesy about it because it's done it before. And it's less like dramatic. It's okay, so in the intro to Battlefield 1, there was a boom every time that text would appear on the screen. But in Battlefield 5's intro, it showed up occasionally and at the right moment to increase its effect, which made it less cheesy. Instead of like boom, boom. It's like chill. Like I have ears. So I just hate the whole inclusivity. Like I don't understand how I'm gonna get teabagged by a black female Nazi. Like what? Am I the only one who's confused? Um, I like the customization of characters. That was fun. I love doing that shit. I lived for that shit. I love customization in any game. Give me customization in any game, I'll get addicted to it so quick. Um, so I was pretty down for that. So it was an okay vibe. It was okay. It could have been so much more. It could have been so much more without the bullshit. The game modes, they experimented with this game. They added weird things like Outpost, um, Firestorm. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Um, wow. Firestorm. Wow. Where did they go wrong? In Conquest, they somehow found a way to make Conquest fun in this game. So props for that. Battlefield 1 also found a way to make Conquest fun as well. Just Battlefield 4 sucked. But the game modes in this were good except for Firestorm. Game modes in this were fucking spectacular except for Firestorm. Um, I like how it has its own spin on Grand Ops. So, give it an 8. I would have brought it down to a 7 because of Firestorm, but like it didn't affect the game because no one even played the damn thing. So it wasn't like, oh, everyone's on that shit game mode that I have to play if I want to get a match. Battlefield 4. Um, Maps. Let's go through them. Rotterdam. That's a 10 out of 10 map. It's a perfect map. That's an objective fact. You can't argue with that. It's true. It's a good map. Right? Aerodrome. Pretty good map. It's good. I like it. The first one is immediately overrun. Like, boom. Like in a Grand Ops or a Breakthrough, the first sector, boom, it's gone. It's almost instant. But the other ones, the defense gets a bit more of a break. Let's see, Panzerstorm. Oh dear, Panzerstorm fucking sucks. It's Gomud Railway, but in World War II. You get all the tiger shitters on top of the mountain, just pulling right trigger for free kills and ruining the base. And making it shit for infantry who want to fight there and have cover and shit like that. They never push up. It's the funniest. They never push up ever. The only time they ever push up is once the point's been secured. What other maps? Arras. You never see the threat coming on Arras. Like there's never like a fight for the map for the center. Everyone's just kind of off throughout the rest of the map, spread out, and then you're like, wait, oh shit, we're losing the point. Wait, what the fuck? And then you run to the point, but there's no one there, and you're like, what the fuck? And but it still gets captured. So, in the final stage of a Grand Op where you have to defend your artillery, if you lose the center one, that sucks for the British. It's rigged against the British. Let's see. Let's talk about the Pacific maps. The Pacific maps are cool. God, are they unbalanced? It's ridiculous. It's so unbalanced. Iwo Jima, it's a farm. It's ridiculous how easy it is for the defenders to win on that map. It's absurd. And don't give me this shit like, oh, well, you have a lot of tickets. I don't want to have to spend all my fucking lives. Like, I'm not going. My objective is not to capture the objective. It's to keep a positive KD. I don't find it fun to fucking run through a choke point and get mowed down 5 times. But hey, at least on the 6th time, I got 1 kill and captured the objective with the other 32 people on my team. Right? Like, that shit's annoying. Solomon Islands is a good map. There's cover. There's plenty of places to land. In the bushes provide for like cover for the Americans as they try to push up. Although the last sector is a guaranteed win for the Americans. If the Americans get to the last sector, it's guaranteed. There's no defending it as the Japanese. It just doesn't happen. Let's see. Pacific Storm is okay. Pacific Storm is okay. Wake Island? Wake Island is good. It is good. I have nothing else to say. It is good. It kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth because it was introduced along with TTK 2.0, which ruined the game for like a few weeks, and then everyone just didn't get over it, even though they fixed it. But the maps in this game, on average, are good. On average. Oh, Twisted Steel. Let me tell you a story about Twisted Steel. Twisted Steel, the maintenance bridge underneath, used to take you all the way to the other side of the bridge, And then flankers could get a really good flank on the other team because they fucking refused to hold left on their joysticks or move their mouse to the left like that and look around and be like, oh shit, there's someone shooting us, and shoot him. And so as a result, I'm assuming people were bitching about it and it got removed. I fucking hate that. I hate that. Me and my buddy would flank all the time. We would rack up literally dozens of kills because retards just couldn't go like that. They couldn't do that. Twisted Steel is still an okay map, but I'm really fucking butthurt that they fucked that up. At least Rotterdam's still OP. So I'm giving this a 7. Oh yeah, if you talk shit about Hamada, by the way, you're wrong. It's an objectively good map. Gunplay in this game? If you removed LMGs, it would be a 10. If you just like changed how LMGs worked, it would be a 10. But instead, because it still has bayonets. I like bayonets. Oh yeah, and there's also isn't the sweet spot mechanic like in Battlefield 1. Fuck that. Vehicles. The vehicles are a bit more powerful than they were in Battlefield 1. Because, look, vehicles will always be a detriment to the game because it is simply you catch it at the spawning screen before someone else and you get your turn in the kill collector. In the kill printer. It's literally, is it my turn to get free kills? Vehicles will never be good until it's Battlefield 2042 and then it's fair. Like, and then it's entirely fair and it's up to the skill of the combatants. Levolution in this game. It has this system like Battlefield 1 where the walls around you break when they get shot. And that's it. That's literally it. What am I going to do with this? Give me something better next time. Come on. Replayability, that's a 10. I play it to this day. Because people play Conquest, and they play Breakthrough, and they play Grand Operations. And you know what? The game's actually fun. You know that? The game's actually fun. The campaigns, intro, was slightly less cheesy than Battlefield 1's. The first one was Under No Flag. Under No Flag was okay. I liked it. It was good. I liked Under No Flag. Good ending. I got so fucking I was like, let's fucking go! Let's see what was next. Next up was Nordlies. Okay. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. The fuck was calling me? My dad. Lol. The third campaign, Tiralieu. It's a good campaign. It got me mad at the end. That's the point. And The Last Tiger, is there anything after Tiralieu between that and The Last Tiger? I can't remember. No, then it's Last Tiger. Yeah. Last Tiger is a masterpiece of storytelling. The gameplay is fine. It's just fine. I have nothing else to say. But the storytelling is nothing short of amazing. Hold up. Water. Oh boy. So, you see, if it wasn't for Nordley's, this would be getting extra credit. But as a result, I have to just give it a 9. Yeah, Nordley's brings it down 2 points. Um, Hold up. Is that what the fuck? Oh, for soundtrack. Wait. I don't like the bit where there's just some Japanese lighting going. I don't like that. I don't like listen to that and think let's fucking go. I'm so hyped to play Battlefield. I go, can you shut up? Graphics. For the longest time, I thought this game's graphics were worse than Battlefield 1's. And then I got a PS5 and just realized that it was because my PS4 had set on fire a few months prior to me playing Battlefield 5. So, that's not a joke. It's set on fire because I was playing PlanetSide. We did a mag dump at the Warp Gate on Esamir. Yeah, so this game's graphics, they're good. They're good fucking graphics. Like, me like. Bugs. Right now, bugs. We're forgetting launch, remember. We're forgetting launch for all of these. We're remembering their current status. There's that they still haven't they still haven't put in a German thing for when you jump out of the plane. It's still allied all the time. All the time. Like you can't change that. Um but bugs. I think it's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fine on bugs nowadays. I just don't trust it. I'm assuming there's something I'm forgetting. All right, 2042's vibe. Look, the vibe around this game is ruined by everyone who's trying to play it because they think they're God's gift to gaming, and as a result, they slide jump around every corner like it's a round of Warzone. And I fucking hate that. I hate it. I hate it so much. It looks so retarded and it's so goddamn annoying because there's nothing I can do that will mitigate that. There's nothing I can do to be prepared for someone to slide jump around a corner. You know? Like, I can prepare for someone to try and double back me. I pre-fire the corner that they try and double back. Right? Or I could crouch down. But there's nothing specific to someone slide jumping around a corner that I can prepare for. It's retarded. Um, and that's something I hate about the vibe because it's all the sweaty Xbox and PC players who think they're God's gift to gaming, sliding everywhere like there's some fucking what's it called? Like this is some Black Ops 3 player. Um, and the vibe of it, I like the aesthetic of this game. This game looks good. Like look at the map renewal. It's clear as day what the vibe is. You know, they're trying to turn desert back into an area to grow crops or to research agriculture. Insert that, you know. Kaleidoscope looks pretty cool. It's modern and futuristic, right? It's futuristic with modern elements. It still looks real. It's like you look at that, you're like, pretty cool. I like the lore in this. I like the background lore in this, right? Background lore, it's global warming. It's what'll happen if we don't get our act together. You know? But the end of round screen is a problem. It's a serious problem. That was something, right? It's actually annoying. I don't like looking at it. Next. Game modes. I like this because it's the only two game modes anyone ever plays. And as a result, there aren't people in other modes that can't play with me and fill up my lobbies because they're playing modes that they shouldn't be playing in a Battlefield game. If you want to play Team Deathmatch, go play Call of Duty. Okay? Don't infest your fucking Call of Duty. And don't infest my Battlefield with your Call of Duty. I don't want that shit. I come here for big fights. I don't come here for 10v10s, you fucking idiot. I mean, Conquest is okay, and they make it work on this game. I think they make it work. But damn, is Breakthrough good on this game. Like, goddamn, is it fun. I always wanted Battlefield 4 to have a breakthrough. When I got to Battlefield 4 and saw there wasn't a breakthrough, I was furious. I was like, are you fucking me? Like, how am I supposed to play this game? So the game modes is all I need. It's all I fucking need. And they're occasionally giving us extra stuff. They're occasionally giving us extra stuff on a rotation so it doesn't get old. Because if you always have access to something, it will become boring fast. But if you rarely have access to it, it's a limited time thing. And your brain thinks, ooh, this is good. That's how the brain works. That's why people do limited time offers on things. So this is good. I kind of miss Grand Operations though, so I can't give it a 10. Maps. So depending if you're on the old gen of consoles or the new gen of consoles and or PC, you'll have 64 players in a normal map or 128 players in a fucking enormous map. And I love that. It's so good. Look, the maps, each and every one of them has their own aesthetic, and it's clear, right? Kaleidoscope, it's South Korea. If that is definitely what South Korea is going to look like in the future. Don't even at me. Let's see. Renewal. It's day and night. You got this giant wall going down the middle. On one side is barren desert. On the other side is an agricultural research facility. You know? Let's see what other maps we got. Hourglass. Hourglass is fun. I like Hourglass. Hourglass is a good map. They fixed the point on it. So now the point's at the bottom, so it's physically possible to take the building on the last sector on the map. It's nice. Breakaway. I like Breakaway. It's good. I like it. Orbital. I love Orbital. Orbital is so good. In both iterations, Orbital is awesome. And there's no arguing with that. If you argue with me on that, you're wrong. And it's not okay to be wrong. So be right. What other maps we got? We got Manifest. I like Manifest. Manifest is good. Especially for my McKay shitter playstyle. Yeah, they're good maps. They're objectively good maps. You can't argue and try to say that they're bad maps. People will say like, "Oh, they're too clean." It's futuristic. That's the point. Like in the future, I'm willing to bet money that they have an advanced way to clean up garbage. Especially in a situation like this, they need a way to clean up garbage. Like during global warming, you bet your ass someone by now would have invented a way to clean up the fucking garbage. Like turn it into fuel or something like that, or crush it up quicker or something like that, you know? So the maps, are good. They're really fucking good. I love them. 10. Gunplay. Ah! Look, so there's something that a lot of people don't realize on console, and that's that the dead zone is fucky on by default. So if you're on console and you haven't done this yet, go to your dead zone and reduce it. You'll be so much happier. You'll be like, oh my god, what have I been doing? You'll realize that it's so much easier to shoot people then. That's a problem that Battlefield games have in general, the dead zone, but especially on this game. I don't know why. And also on console, the aim assist is less powerful, and that's good. I don't want aim assist in my fucking game. I want to be rewarded for having good aim, and I don't want fucking Jose Gonzalez over there, who's never played a shooter game in his life, to aimbot to me because the game thinks, oh, well, he hasn't played very long, so let's be fair to him. No! What? So now the what's it called? The university student should beat Messi in a 1v1 in soccer? Just because, like, they should make his goals count like 5 times or make the ball magnetic to Messi's goal? Just because the university student hasn't played much? No. The university student isn't going to learn that way. He's not going to learn that way. He's going to learn if Messi kicks the shit out of him and then Messi says, "Hey, you're fucking this up. Here's how you can improve." You're not going to improve if you don't make mistakes and if the game crutches you. So that's a good thing that the aim assist is reduced. Let's see. In general, the PB29 was really good at launch, but I think it got nerfed. Now it's all about the PKP BP, and everyone and their mother is trying to Battlefield 5 it, where you just lie down in a fucking bush and hold right trigger until everyone's dead. It's not working too well for them. It's not. Let's also talk about the plus system, like the mods system. I love that. I love it. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I don't have the gear to do this. I now lose. I should never have to just sit there and die because I didn't have the thing I needed for the situation. I should never have to deal with that. No one should ever have to be like, oh, well, I did everything right, but now I ended up in this situation against my own will, and now I'm dead. Right? That's why I hate fucking vehicles in Battlefield 4, because you do everything right, but the chopper just so happened to be there and blew your ass away. Like, that's so fucking dumb. And the modification system allows you to somewhat mitigate that, right? It only gives you 3 for each type of attachment, so you have to pick wisely, but it gives you some modification. It makes the game dynamic. So one life isn't going to be the same goddamn thing. One life can be multiple different playstyles. You can swap it up. I love it. Like, you see a sniper, you don't have to fucking sit there with your assault rifle and just go, Instead, you can prone down, pull out a bipod, a 9x scope, a long barrel, and high-powered ammunition and blow the kid's head off. It's great. But the guy with the sniper still has an advantage over you, but most snipers suck at the game anyway, so you'll be fine. So yeah, gunplay, I'm giving it a 10. Get mad. Get fucking mad. The vehicles, it's fair. They have achieved what I've wanted from Battlefield, and that's for the vehicle versus infantry gameplay to be fair. Because of the specialist system. With specialists, anyone can have a rocket launcher and still help their team in a certain way. Anyone can defend themselves from vehicles while still helping their team. So I can be reviving people in the fucking trenches. I see a chopper who's tearing everyone up. I don't have to just sit there and do nothing about it. I don't have to just sit there and be like, oh, well, I can't deal with him because of my class. Oh, well, I'll just sit here and die and watch the entire team die. No, I could pull out my M5 recoilless rifle and pop his ass. Like, that's good. That is objectively a good thing. You can't deny that. You should never have to be in a situation where you just keel over because fucking you don't have the right class. It's such bullshit. So Thank you, Battlefield 2042, for giving me a 10 on vehicles. Now, Levolution. So, the natural disasters in this game are fucking sick. I like them. And they transform the map in a good way, right? Because the tornado, it comes through, but it doesn't stay forever, right? So so as soon as it arrives, it doesn't just ruin the map entirely, where like you can't go on the point without getting flung into a building. You can actually go to the point later, and there won't be a tornado there. Unlike Siege of Shanghai had ass, where the fucking building falls down, and now you can't go to Sea Point without getting molested by fucking tanks. That shit was so annoying. So I like the natural disasters because they come in, at least the tornado comes in, it stays there for a bit, and then it's gone. Meaning that the area it's in is not permanently fucked by it. Now in Hourglass, where there's the sandstorm, I like that because the sandstorm eventually dissipates, but during it, it gives you cover from annoying ass sniper mains who think they're God's gift and that they're Chris Kyle's long lost cousin. Now the actual Levolutions, like things blowing up and changing the map, are not too drastic, but they're there. For example, Orbital. You blow up the fucking rocket. Holy shit, it looks cool. Like, goddamn, I've never seen a Levolution look that cool before. But you blow up the rocket, and then it provides cover for the attacking team to advance to the rocket because the rocket becomes the cover, right? It pops, sending shrapnel everywhere, all over the runway, and then you use the runway to advance because you have the shrapnel for cover now. It's good. I like it. Other maps, though, are a bit lackluster in the Levolutions that they have because there's not much. Sometimes it's just aesthetic changes or like something will fall down in front of you. You'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And then you go on your merry fucking way. So I can't give it a 10. I can't. And because some of the Levolutions are lackluster, I'm still not going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it an 8. Replayability. Ever heard the phrase less is more? Because there are not 18 quintillion different items for me to unlock, I gain access to the full sandbox and have it at my disposal by around level 50. And then I'm free to use the sandbox how I wish. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Like, I don't need 8 different rocket launchers to lock on to someone in the air. I don't need that. I need for my... Okay. What I need is an ammo crate, a med kit, a repair tool, a dumbfire, a lock-on, C4, shitter sticks, a motion spotter, a spawner, so you can like spawn people in. What else do I need? And I guess the armor plate system is nice, I guess. I wish we had mortars. That would be pretty cool. I hope they add those. But it's... I'm only missing one thing, which is mortars, because mortars are fucking cool. So we also need to factor in that the specialists mix with each other in a really interesting way, because you can have your buddy throw C4 onto your drone as Casper and fly the drone into a tank and it pops. The tank just goes bye-bye. And that's another way for you to deal with vehicles. It's another way that infantry can get creative and destroy vehicles. Like, I hope they don't remove that from the game because that's good. That's people innovating. That's people thinking. However, there are not many maps in this game. They're good, but there aren't many of them. You know? I like them, and I want more of them, but I hope to God they don't rush them, because 3 categories down will look even worse. So for the replayability, we'll give it an 8. Bruh. I Bruh. Okay, look, the intro's pretty cool. I like the intro. But that's it. Graphics. Oh no, we're on soundtrack right now. Okay, soundtrack. It has a case of the Battlefield 4 where it rarely has soundtrack playing, and when it does, you don't even know it's soundtrack. It's just random boop, 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 boop. And you're like, "Oh, there's Battlefield playing in the background." Okay. Instead of like Battlefield 1 and 5 where it gets so fucking intense, you're like freaking out and you're trying to get to the point as fast as possible. But in 2042, it's like Battlefield 4. It just kind of has some music, and yeah, it has some music. I don't know. 2042's main soundtrack doesn't get really good until the end, and then it gets pretty sick. I don't think it's as good as Battlefield 4's, but it does have some good end of round and start of round themes. So 6. Graphics. Little Birdie told me that they purposely held the graphics back so that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One would get a fair shot at playing the game. Fine. 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 They look fine. The graphics look fine. They're fine. Oh dear. Look. When people say the game is unplayable, they are wrong. But to say that there are no bugs in this game would be a lie. There are many bugs in this game, and many of them infuriating. Many of them are very infuriating. I'm not going to name them because we all know them. We've all heard of them. We've heard Level Cat bitch about it. We've seen the funnies on 4chan. But it's not as bad as everyone's making out to be, but it's bad. Okay. Any extra credit? Oh, yeah, Portal and Hazard Zone. Hazard Zone's fucking sick, bro! I love Hazard Zone. Wait, wouldn't that go in game modes, though? Oh, okay, well, 10, and then it would bring it up to an 11, so it's an extra credit point. Portal. Hello, Portal. Portal! So that's going to give it another 2 extra credit points. That's 3 extra credit points. Okay, let's add these up. Sorry, Battlefield 4, you did not get any extra credit. Where's my phone? I need to do some calculation. Okay, math. 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5.5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 2 plus 8 plus 6 plus 9. 56.5. Okay. Okay, Battlefield 1. 9 plus 10, it's 19, plus 7, plus 6, plus 7, plus 3, plus 9, plus 9, plus 10, plus 1, 71. Battlefield 5. 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 8. 80. 4 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 6 plus 9 plus 3 plus 3. 83. So tell me, is Battlefield 2042 really that trash?